So here's something I think about the Kenobi show. I think it'll be the darkest Star Wars show to date, even maybe more than Revenge of the Sith. Now, I have a few reasons for this, and the reasons are because it's set in the most dark time of the galaxy. See, Revenge of the Sith was still set in the Republic, and the tide was turning. It was changing to the Galactic Empire. But now, we're dead set in it. The Emperor and Vader rule the cosmos now 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, so this isn't the early stages of the Empire turning the tide of the Republic like we saw in, the Bad Batch, for example, but Palpatine's reign is now quite actualized. And if you want to think of Cal Kestis, well, his story picks up 5 years after Jedi Fallen Order, which that game took place 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. There aren't any rebels around as prominent as there were in Rogue One. Vader's mask already inflicted fear across the galaxy at this point. I believe he's quite well known. The Inquisitors are also veterans now in their role in the Empire, and they have grown with power as well, while losing numbers as time has gone on. The Death Star is also currently in production, so we can expect the skeleton of the Death Star that we saw in Revenge of the Sith at the very end with Palpatine and Vader looming over it, now to be much more complete. In fact, they're halfway done. It's half fully operational. Kenobi himself will be much more dark and twisted. Now, Kenobi has always kept within the light. When Qui-Gon died, when Satine died, when Anakin turned and he thought he eliminated him during Order 66 on Mustafar, he still remained a Jedi, untainted. At this point, he may have lost some faith, lost some belief in himself and his failures, and I'm sure he blames himself for a lot of the things that have happened at this point. I can't imagine his night terrors, seeing his best friend, and what he turned into. If you go way back on this channel, back to 2016 or 2017, I was talking about how I would love to see what happened to Kenobi in between episode 3 and 4. Maybe he's sleeping and he has pleasant dreams of him and Anakin being friends during the Clone Wars, and then all of a sudden just flash to Anakin burning on Mustafar, and he's woken up in this sweaty, distraught, and disturbing nightmare. How is he going to deal with these things? How is he going to deal with the death of all of these people around him that he called his family and friends? It's going to be quite the emotional ride, and I'm really looking forward to seeing my favorite characters explained in this interesting time. Now, the other thing is that Kenobi can't take any chances at this point. He must eliminate any threat to Luke. This means we're going to get a much colder and badder Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think. So if the Empire comes looking for him or Luke Skywalker, he must not hesitate to make sure no one gets back to the Empire to tell them about what they potentially found. This would be Kenobi's last effort, his last chance at preserving the last hope for the galaxy, as Yoda instructed. We could also see Maul in the Kenobi show, and his story at this point is only 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, where we last saw him take off in that ship as Ahsoka was holding it back. Now, mind you, this is also 8 years or so before his final demise at the hands of Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine, so there's still quite a bit of life left for Maul to be told. All in all, I think this show actually will be darker than The Mandalorian, and perhaps even darker than Revenge of the Sith, dare I say. But of course, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you think this show is going to be an absolute banger? It's going to be super dark and twisted? Or do you think it's going to be a little more light and happy? Can't wait to watch it with you all. Until the next episode on Star Wars Theory, remember, the Force will be with you. Always.